Aloha! You're watching F5 Web Media On Demand. I'm Peter Silva, Technical Marketing Manager at F5. We've been at Mandalay Bay at the Interop Conference all week, and we're here again with Chris Actor, a Solution Engineer for F5. And one of the things that's been critical in the industry today is web application access, web application security, and web application authentication. And so can you tell us a little bit about why that's critical for businesses?
So security for web applications is very important because the data living on web servers and the back-end databases today has usually got high value to a company or an enterprise. It's sometimes financial data, sometimes it's personal human resources type data, sometimes it's competitive information or intellectual property or trade secrets. So securing web applications and controlling who has access to those resources, when they have access, and being able to audit that and be able to know who is accessing what kinds of information is very important in today's enterprise.
And so last September at Oracle Open World, we announced the integration of the Oracle Access Manager with the BIG-IP Access Policy Manager. And with the release of version 10.2 of BIG-IP, it's now fully integrated and a fully supported solution here on our boxes. And so we're going to go through right now and explain a little bit about how this all works.
Okay, so this represents a typical Oracle Access Manager enterprise deployment. So on the left side over here we have your Oracle Internet Directory, which is your LDAP database with all the users in there. We have Oracle Access Manager and Oracle Policy Manager. This is the service from Oracle that sets the policy and grants or denies access to the web resources, which are living here on Oracle web servers. So the way that this happens today is that you load a piece of software on these Oracle servers called WebGate, and that's what controls access to these servers. When the users want to come into the website and gain access, they have to authenticate and validate who they are through the WebGate first. Now, loading this software on these servers can be a challenging proposition because there's a whole different number of applications, there's different server types, there's different operating systems. Deploying these web gates as either agents or proxies is difficult, it's time consuming, and it takes a lot of expensive hardware and software in order to keep this system running. So in the red box here, we have what's called the Web Application Management Proxy tier. This is the tier of servers that is usually deployed to protect all these application servers. And there's a piece of software on these web application servers called the Access Gate. The Access Gate works with the web gate to perform the challenge and the authentication of who the users are. This entire proxy tier is very expensive and difficult to maintain because you need a pair of servers if you want high availability for every single Oracle application that you deploy. So I'm only showing 2 here and 2 here, but you would need additional pairs for all of your additional Oracle applications or non-Oracle applications. So it gets very expensive. So what F5 and Oracle have partnered together to do is to move this Access Gate software onto the BIG-IP platform. So we're going to show you what it looks like after our integrated solution.
So all this is here. Now all of this goes away, right? You can remove that entire tier. There we go.
So now the Access Gate software is loaded onto the BIG-IP. Again, we're using Oracle's Access Gate software development kit. It's actually running on the BIG-IP platform, and it's a new module called Access Policy Manager. So now what happens is the BIG-IP device is connected to the OAM server, and it's also connected to the LDAP or OID server. And when a client comes in to access one of your websites, BIG-IP then takes over that WebGate Access Gate proxy function, and it queries the Oracle Access Manager and the OID server to authenticate and validate the user, sets the session cookie for the user, and then if the user is approved, BIG-IP goes ahead and forwards the request to the actual web server. So we've eliminated an entire tier of infrastructure, which saves on hardware, it saves on software, it certainly saves on maintenance and operations cost. So if you already have these proxy servers, you can now take them out and redeploy them for other projects or use them as another resource. And if you haven't deployed that proxy tier, now you have an option to license the APM software on the BIG-IP, and you don't have to buy all these proxy servers, install them, and maintain them. In addition to that, now that you've invested in the BIG-IP platform, we can also add some of the other advanced features for BIG-IP. As part of your security profile, you could add BIG-IP Application Security Manager, which again is a software module that goes on the BIG-IP, and it's a layer 7 web application firewall. So it protects your web services from
all the types of malicious attacks.
All the types of malicious attacks that you see on the internet. One additional module is our BIG-IP Web Accelerator Software. So you can add Web Accelerator software, and this is especially helpful for clients that are connected over slow networks or remote offices or wide area networks that are farther away, because Web Accelerator provides caching and compression and WAN optimization type software so that the user experience is much better.
And in many other solutions, adding these additional pieces typically would mean more hardware, more maintenance, but in this situation, it's essentially going right on to the current BIG-IP platform, so a single management interface. And
yes, so it's one platform, and in this case, you've loaded 3 different software modules from F5, and you've gotten the benefit of the investment that you've made in your BIG-IP by adding these additional software features, and therefore getting much more return on your investment because you're doing more with the equipment.
And we were chatting earlier, and I was sort of wondering, we promote this obviously because we think it's a cool solution, and we've certainly partnered real deeply with Oracle for the integrations. How does Oracle feel about this solution?
Well, Oracle is excited about it because we are actually using their software development kits and putting it on our platform. So that gives them our ammunition, so to speak, out in the field to sell the solution. And it's integrated with F5, which is very fast and high performance, so it makes OAM run really, really well. And so they're very excited about it.
Excellent. Great stuff, Chris. Thanks for joining us again. So again, we're at Interop, booth 1643. This is the last day, so maybe come down and visit us. If not, thanks for watching. And so for Chris and our wonderful camera guy, Colin, I'm Peter for F5 Networks. Thanks a lot.